The time we went to Funky and I was talking to this guy, actually know him today, we are friends. And he said that time he was young, and he said, ati mimi sipendangi kuongelesha wasichana wanono. I was like, I'm sorry. Are you serious with that?
Hello guys, welcome to Teen.h2h platform. So my name is Nalia Kabanda, and today I invited a guest here, my lovely friend. She will introduce herself.
Hi guys, so I am Terry. I am Fiona's friend. And yeah, I hope we can engage, and maybe you can send in your questions and we see also.
Yes. So today's topic is on self-esteem. In one way or another, we have been affected by self-esteem. But people tend to say self-esteem is when you cannot be able to stand before people and address people. I think for me, I would consider that as shyness, but not self-esteem.
True.
Because self-esteem affects people differently. For me, my self-esteem was I was good academically, so I was able to stand before people and discuss topics in high school. But when it came to beauty, I used to see myself like, I'm not that beautiful enough. There's no point even of doing makeup and doing whatnot. So how was self-esteem for you?
Okay, for me, basically, I didn't even realize I had low self-esteem until probably when I got to high school. Because when I was in primary, I just assumed, okay, I'm a big girl. Men don't like big girls. They like the smaller girls. But I was not, and I knew I was not as beautiful as them. So for me, it was just a matter of, I was just okay with being the friend to the guys, the tomboy and all that. But then when I go to high school, you start meeting guys and you want somebody to be attracted to you. So you go for funkies and guys are talking to everybody else but you, and it starts to hit you different because you're like, kwani ni nini watu wako nayo that I do not have, So I was in high school, it's when it really hit me. And then I remember there's a time we went to Funky and I was talking to this guy, actually know him today, we are friends. And he said that time he was young, and he said, ati mimi sipendangi kuongelesha wasichana wanono. I was like, I'm sorry. Are you serious with that? And he said it as if he's not talking to me. He said it directly to me and then he left. I know.
So how big were you? Like,
I was big.
Were you obese?
No. I'm telling you, I was like normal big, but big in terms of all my friends were tiny, so I was the only big one in the group. So you would notice that I'm very big, but I was not as big as you would think. So it was just, that's when I think it really just it hit me. And then as the older I got, I realized actually it's not a matter of what that guy said. This thing had started a long time ago, and it was rooted from probably my childhood, the way I grew up, things that were said to me, the people I related with as I was growing up. They had installed this perception into me that I used to feel that I was never good enough. All my friends, I had beautiful friends. Those ones, me and those girls when uko na marafiki wasupu, you go somewhere and guys are like, they come and tap you, think they want to talk to you, and they're like,
okay.
You're like,
why not this?
Why are you killing me like this? But that's me.
Maybe I had a crush on them, but
I had a crush. My crush went and asked me for number ya beshte yangu.
Oops.
I died like 20 times. The worst part is, whether there's one time a guy came, this guy was supposed to meet, we'd be talking on Facebook and everything. I was young. So we meet at the meeting point. I've seen his photo somewhere. Do you know the guy saw me from across the road? He called me and he said, "Madhe amepata mipango fulani sitaweza kumake."
Ouch.
And I can see him across the road.
Ouch.
Me, I was like, I think all these events, and it's not even coming from a place of as in wanaume peke yake, them giving you assurance, as well as the people in your life, the people that are close to you. People did not know I was going through self-esteem because I'm a very loud girl. And people sometimes don't even know that it's not even a matter of being in front of people and talking, because you can talk in front of people, but inside you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like and you feel like everybody in the room is better than you. Every lady in the room is more beautiful than you. So basically, that's, I think I came to realize through different events, from childhood to from a teenager to going to work and being this person in campus, all these events, they just kept reminding me that there's something inside me that is not whole.
Yeah. And how did you, as in, if, though you're saying you're loud, how are you able to hide it from the people? Yeah, people around you.
Mostly, okay, I did not hide it. Most of them knew. It's just that it was not a matter of, they cannot come to your face and tell you have a low self-esteem.
They never tried to help you. They never, am I the one who's pushing them away?
I kept pushing people away, and at that time I did not learn that I was pushing them away. People just thought I was very rude. Actually, I lost a lot of friends during that time because when I started discovering these parts of me, it came out as a defense. Like, uko na watu at a group. Am I allowed to talk Swahili?
No, yeah.
You know, you know, I'm around people, but I keep putting this wall. So every time they are saying something, instead of me taking it in and understanding how it can help me, I took it as tunataka kubishana. You're just bringing me down. Or you're negative energy. I don't want this, you know. And I kept pushing people away. But I know they're friends of mine. Shelly, Angie, they knew for a long time that this girl is struggling with self-esteem issues. And they were trying to pump me up, but you know, nobody can heal you until yourself you're ready to heal.
Exactly.
Until you accept this is what I'm going through and I need to start healing, you know. So my friends tried to help me, but I think I did not see it at the moment. I was building walls and those walls are still there up to today. It's a continuous journey. You have to continuously learn how to break these things down.
Losing friends. What else was the negative impact to your self-esteem? Like, what else got affected by it? It affected your grades?
It affected... Okay, my grades, not really, because in high school it was not as much. But when I got to campus, it was a matter of I'm not good enough. And no matter, I mean, sometimes I might be the best one in the group in terms of, actually it affected me because I used to feel like I need to work extra hard compared to other people so that I prove to people I may not be beautiful, but I'm smart. You know, I remember even when I was choosing the course that I was taking up in campus, when I took up finance, it was not a matter of that I loved finance. I wanted to prove to people that I might not be the most beautiful girl in the room, but I'm the smart. I'm smart in my head, you know. I had all these things that I felt I needed to prove. As well, not just even friends, I lost, how will I put it? Job opportunities. There are opportunities that I would get, and I knew they were paying higher, but I did not believe I was worthy enough of such positions. And there are times when opportunities would come and I would not apply because in my head I told myself, oh, is it haki? Are you crazy? They will find you out. I had the imposter syndrome everywhere I went. And it's not even that you heal. Even now, there are times I see a job opportunity and I'm like, what to find out, you know, it is a continuous process. I'm telling you, you have to continuously learn how to.
And it's sort of like an addiction because you get addicted to not being good enough.
Yeah.
Because for me, how I handle my self-esteem, because I knew I'm not pretty enough, I used to be a book mom. So I used to run away from people, everyone, even at school. I never used to go for break. I never used to go for lunch. Yes, I was completely books on my thing. Even it's better I read something that is for Form 3. I'm in Form 2, but I rather finish the Form 2 topics. I go to Form 3, I go to Form 4, but just to avoid.
Yours was extreme.
Yeah, I used to avoid people like a plague.
I would engage with people, but I would fake the kind of person I was just to feel that I needed to fit in. That was me.
Or me, I never faked. Even when I speak, I used to feel like I'm speaking rubbish. Like when I speak from the box, if I have to speak about chemistry. I have to speak about mathematics.
The things that I know, the things that I'm my comfort.
Because I have crammed the book. I literally crammed. But I can tell you, when you ask a question, I can tell you it is in this page in chemistry book. I knew specifically it is here and here and here. But any other topic outside academics, you go to a place. I'm thinking, you say something, and I'm like, I think this is the answer. But I'm like, no. If I say, I will stupid. Or I will be grammatically wrong when I speak, or I don't know the chant. I just used to feel.
I know.
Yeah, like.
For me, it was I did not speak in public places as much. I would speak like if you're my friend, I would have a very good chat. But then when it comes to people that I do not know, I was afraid that anything I would say is stupid, anything I say is foolish, and people will see my foolishness, and they already know that I'm not pretty. My friend, you will not attract. You know, like pick a struggle. You cannot be struggling with everything. You know. That was me, you know. So I never used to speak. Like and people used to think I'm a very shy girl, but they did not know that I was struggling with esteem issues. Because I was afraid to say something and push people away. What if I say something they think I'm stupid and now I'm not beautiful? Right. I was really struggling, not to say anything in places where. And imagine me with my bubbly personality, quiet, you know.
So what would you tell a girl out there who is struggling with self-esteem and they're like, we can't come out of this box because you've been tamed to be here? And at times I feel like even sometimes the peer pressure thing and whatnot comes because of the issue of self-esteem. Because you don't have the self-identity. Like, this is me. Let me grow in this area. But you want to fix yourself in. Everyone else is doing this. Even you want to fix yourself in, so that at least I don't look like I'm off. That sort.
Okay, my advice to people is, one, you will not heal from this thing with one day. It is a journey of every day having to reaffirm yourself of certain things, trying to fight the thoughts that are in your head, because there are times, as in, especially when you have a low self-esteem, everything in your head is always, you can't, no, this is not for you, this is for this type of people because you're this type of people, or this is for pretty girls. I remember I wanted to do journalism, but I did not do journalism because I knew it was for light skin. Me used to think it's for light skin chicks, like apana, unless when you remember you will not get a job, you know. So what I'd advise to people that are going through self-esteem? One, you need to decide. Wait, no, not decide, you need to accept. Accept that I have a low self-esteem, and this is as a result of this and this and this.
How do you identify?
Write down. You identify.
You are not able to identify it. You said you're not able to identify within a specific period of time.
Yeah, I did not identify it when I was in high school or maybe early days of my campus. But later on, as you grow, as you're now for teenagers, what I would advise, because maybe your head is not open to
correction. That's the
correction, and probably as well you're not open to different kinds of environment. So some things inside you are not exposed because you're only in one environment, and that environment you're used to it. What you need to identify is, first of all, do I have negative thoughts? When people tell me something is good, maybe mtu anakucompliment, anakwambia you look really good, but in your head you're like, hata hizi earrings siko na feel kama zinakaa poa. But okay, even if you won't say it, you look at your dress, mostly people who have a low self-esteem will tell them unakaa poa, they're like, hata ingo nilibaibao. Yani just to make sure that distract your thoughts. And I'm learning to take it in. Because I used to be those people like, mtu anakwambia, hey, unakaa poa, instead of accepting, you're like, uko sure, ama anakwambia, hey, your makeup looks good, and you're like, hey, uko sure uko just smart sana, you know. Take in the compliment. When somebody tells you look good, accept it. Take it in. Teach yourself how to accept those things. Like, unakaa poa, hey, asanti, hey, leo nimejaribu, you know. I nearly decide, let me do some makeup. If I look good, nitakuwa nafanya more often. Learn to accept those compliments. Also, at a young age, start journaling. When you journal, journaling allows your heart to break to a certain point. You're able to write. When you're writing things down, unaanzanga kumwagika without you even knowing it. And so some things, like sometimes you're just writing how your day was, and you realize, I got pissed off because, let's say, Nani got a promotion. That's an esteem issue. You have no idea because you're not confident in your own abilities. So you're assuming other people are also not confident in their own abilities. Where they've been given promotions before you. Esteem doesn't always go at home, I'm feeling bad. Sometimes it's a matter of
jealous,
thinking, it's like envy that has been, you know, and you feel like just because you don't feel good about yourself, you're assuming that everybody else should be feeling the same way. And so you get upset at people who are even more confident. They used to get upset. Me, I'm going to see a promotion. I'm upset that you're feeling so good about yourself. Why? Why are you so confident? Why are you wearing that dress and feeling like you need to show us around? Can you calm down, you know? And then I realized there are people who have embraced who they are. There are girls who are big and they dress nicely because I'm embraced. And she walks into a room and everybody's like, you know, because it has to come from a place of umejiamini. Self-esteem is all about jiamini. Continue to build you, as in put positive thoughts into you. So me, I would say journal. Accept that accept that you're going through this. Yeah, you have self-esteem issues. when you see that kuna vitu unafanya zenye they're not necessarily right with your conscience, try and identify if these things are causing your low self-esteem. As well, talk to people about it. Ideally, the moment I started telling my friends, by then me I'm struggling with self-esteem. By then me I don't feel good about. By then me actually, when they invite me out for a date, I don't feel worthy, so I don't go. I used to do that with to all the guys that tried to date me. Please come back. I am ready. Your sister is ready. You know, me and I used to go out on dates. People would. I felt, oh, kijana, he's trying to use me for something, because there's no way in the world that you like somebody like me. It's not possible. So what do you want? I used to think that people have exterior motives. Yeah, so you have to identify these small things. What are these small things that you're doing that you necessarily feel that your conscience is not agreeing with, because it's not, you believe that that is not you, but they are bringing you down. You always have this vision of I can be better, but you're never getting there because there are so many things that are holding you back. What are these things holding you back? Write them down. Then learn how to work around them.
I never knew about that issue of journaling. I think about it today. When you journal down your feelings, and then you're able to pick where am I struggling and where am I seeing myself inadequate, where do I need to improve. And for parents, how can a parent identify that my child is going through self-esteem issues? To me, I never used to share it with anyone. I used to solve every problem internally. It diminished me, as in I never saw myself that good enough.
Okay, me, I think for our parents, they knew. It's just that they did not know this is called the self-esteem issues. They just assumed you're having an attitude. They assumed you're going through an episode. They assumed you are a teenager. Exactly. Me, but because I think for my mother, she knew. Because there's a time I would really switch off, like completely. She would come home and find that I've already eaten and it's amoja and I'm in bed.
Oh yeah.
Because somebody outside said something offensive to me. She didn't even care what you're going through. Because you know our parents are not those ones that you were squeezing at your baba, what is wrong? Come we talk, go to the naughty corner and think about what you've done. That's not our parents. Our parents used to believe that loving you is being able to provide for you. So they would go work. They would go work, come back in the evening and expect you to have done house chores and everything, because it's a thank you for you have worked for us. So here is the food, and here is the water. So for them, they didn't really know it was self-esteem. For them, I think they just assumed that you were acting up. But what I would advise the parents that are there right now, first of all, dads, please have relationships with your daughter.
Yeah.
You're the first man that will show her like how she's supposed to be treated. I have interacted with so many ladies that have had a close relationship with their fathers, and those women, I have noticed, majority of them are very confident, because the first man they dealt with showed them, hey, wait, you're everything. Don't say you can be anything. Like you're the it, you know. But fathers need to have relationship with their daughters. Take her out, talk to her. I'm not saying be fancy at it goes to do where. Just always be there to
even a
walk, listen to what they are saying. When they're talking to you, listen to what they are saying. When they ask you questions, don't act up. Just listen and be able to address those questions. Also, parents, even as you're working, I understand you're trying to provide for your kids.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with a teenager. You're dealing with a child that, if he doesn't have anywhere to pour his emotions, he will go and pour his emotions in the wrong place. Yeah. And in the wrong place, he might be influenced with the wrong things. Exactly. That's why you find some people are in drugs, some people are in alcohol.
This one was not in our generation. You might happy.
And most people actually assume that only women suffer with low self-esteem. There are men who suffer with low self-esteem, but it's hidden in terms of the way they atapata issue haju ku address juu hajaifunzwa kuongelesha anyone. So they go out and they drink it out.
Yeah.
And then he comes back to people and people are just judging him and they have no idea what this man is going through.
Yeah, because a man is not supposed to show emotions. So when he goes to the friends and tells the friends, by the way, this and this has happened, like so go to the next person. Kind of things. So the person has grown up knowing that you're supposed to hide these things inside and then just sort them out or play.
You're supposed to talk about their emotions.
Exactly.
Wow.
Which is a wrong thing.
Yeah. We need to address also that here. It's not just like women. Okay, women are the ones that are mostly aired, but even men go through esteem issues. And the fact that it's not even just not as a teenager, even as grown men. Because when you get to a place where you cannot even provide for your family, and you're not even able to address the fact that I've seen people in town who have lost their jobs and they still wake up in the morning and wear a suit
and go to
work. Go to town and they sit pale nini. Hataki kuambia watu wameacha kazi because he has not been taught to
how
portray such things. Like, who are you if you're not a provider? Exactly. You know, and things have to be instilled from a young man. When a teenager, even as he's growing up, let him know that it's okay to address even problems.
Exactly. It's train up a child. You see, sometimes you just see that verse casually, but when you come to think about it, how you make that kid grow up, how confident do you make him grow up, how confident do you make him to address issues at that particular age, because that's how they grow up to know. This is how I was brought up. I was brought up to speak out my issues and say it, no matter who judges me, kind of thing. But if they are teenagers and then you suppress their emotions, suppress their feelings, someone I'm talking about,
I know,
so they'll grow up knowing no matter what happens to you in your life, during the process, you're not supposed to cry. Don't show emotions. You're a stone, by the way. Only ladies show emotions, but you're a stone. Do not. And I think it affects the women as early as they grow up their relationships.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I was taught, this is what goes on.
And that's what people don't understand. It would happen that it will be. I've grown up and it's very hard you find people with esteem issues as adults. The esteem, it comes from from your young age.
Yeah.
You don't even know these are habits that you picked up, these are thoughts that you've been having for a long time, but you just took them at that time casually. But then now you're an adult and you cannot even have an interactive relationship maybe with someone because you have these insecurities that another person cannot be able to handle, you know. So such things have to be addressed. Like, let it come from, if you're trying to heal this thing, heal it from the roots. Like, bring up this teenager, bring up this child to a certain way, and even as they are growing up, these are the habits and the things that they will carry even as they are older.
Right, there's also another side of self-esteem. There's this side where now you're oppressed, but there's this side where your parents make you become proud of yourself. So say they do a mistake, and then they want to argue it out with you how correct they are in terms of, I love my confidence. I was brought up to be with confidence, like
To be corrected.
you're not supposed to be corrected. But now there are teenagers who come up with, they think they're above the law, they think they're above everything. Now it comes in as pride. Ukiangalia unamwa, this teenager has pride. But with them they say they are confident. They're told this is how you're supposed to be.
I understand. There's a word for it. I'm not sure. There's low self-esteem, and it's not really high esteem.
It is.
It's called high esteem. I don't know this. It's like it's an illusion of. You think that ni kama uko kwa bubble and you believe that things around you are just nini, but in true sense you're hurting inside and you come out as you gonna pride.
Yeah, actually it's pride. Not even
it's pride. Exactly.
Pride.
Yeah, you have pride.
It's pride.
But nile you're assuming that this is how. This is confidence. This is how normal people are. And you see it even probably at workplaces and all that. They
always correct you. Like, I'm always correct. I'll start this. I'm always correct. Even when they're talking to your parents, I'm always correct. I'm always correct.
Not a good idea. You have friends who every time you have an argument, they will never apologize because you're the one. Them they never make mistakes. Women unakwanga na shida ni wewe.
Exactly.
Maybe you argued about something. Maybe the majority of the part was you, but this is what they did to contribute to this argument, but they will never accept that. Because there are people who believe, Mimi, I cannot be. Mimi, I can't do a pride. Mimi, I can't do what.
I think also parents need to tame that from their kids. Rather than just allowing them, because sometimes parents will say, we're a teenager too. Sana who you actually. We call them millennials too. You can this kid is going to grow up. And it should be difficult with them to relate with people. Because they're not going to stay with you forever.
Exactly.
They're going to move out. But how do you want them to relate with other people who are coming into their lives? You guys find your toy, as in all the time when they go to high school, or even campus, they're clashing with everyone.
Exactly.
Everyone. And then you start wondering, as in people hate me, some people hate you. Is your character that was not tamed when you were young? Even
actually, there are these arrogant people that you meet where they're like, they've come into the world and they're like, why is everybody not bowing down to me? Because they were taught everybody I'm always right, nobody tells me anything.
Even they correct their parents like okay, baba uko sawa.
They come to you and they're like, you're not even trying to argue with them. You're like, if that's your opinion, I'm fine, but let's just agree to disagree. And they get upset because they're like, why are you not accepting that? You know, you always right. I understand that there's such personalities.
So I think also parents need to team as in yes, self-esteem, yes, make their self-esteem peace. I think find a balance, find a place of equality. Don't lower it, don't
push it too much.
Just somewhere where they can come in and be able to reason out with other people other than you. Because yes, maybe they're so used to reasoning out with you, and then you let them go easily with some mini mistakes. But when they go, think about when they go out there, how do you want them to do when you're not there?
Just basically train up that person to be a decent human being. That's what we're asking for.
Exactly.
We're not asking for too much. Don't overpump him, and don't bring him down.
Exactly.
Just raise him up to be normal and
place where they kila mtu akienda wapi can be easily accommodated. Can
But in short, I think we've not spoken about ways to heal, how to heal esteem issues. So one, this is no God. So I think my esteem I started like identifying myself and the unique features about me when I understood that God loves me in a certain way, and He does not look at me the way other people look at me. And for me, that I think was a turning point, and that was a healing point. No God. Talk to Him every time these thoughts are coming. And I feel like you cannot even counteract these thoughts if you do not have God with you. And sometimes the word of God just pumps you up in a certain way that allows you to heal internally even before people can see it physically or outwardly, right? Also, guy, be very protective about your spaces. Me, I'm very protective about my spaces, and people think I'm picky in friends, but I'm like, I have worked so hard to build this woman that you see today. I cannot afford to just have anyone come in and just break everything. No, I've become very choosy about the kind of people that I spend time with, about the things that I listen to, about opportunities that come my way. Like, I'm very cautious about every small thing. And I'm also cautious about every small thought that comes into my head. Because those thoughts are what will eventually materialize into bigger things. So I've learned to speak positive to myself. Silence the voices that tell me, oh, you can't, where you're not good enough. No.
You're not pretty.
I'm learning. And I've also learned that this is a continuous journey. There are days you will wake up and you're high. You're up there, nobody can bring you down. And then there are days you will wake up and the whole world is on you. Like, it's like you feel like you're back to square one where you started day one when you were struggling with esteem issues. And you have to continuously remind yourself, yesterday I did this, so today I can do this again. Yesterday, Kitambo, I was not good enough. It's fine. If that's the argument that you want to have, I was not good enough. But right now, this is a woman that has been built, this is a person that has been built. You cannot bring that. So I think, no God, be careful about who you surround yourself with. Be careful about what you allow to enter your capacity, as in your body and everything, in terms of listening, hearing, and everything. Just be very cautious about everything that yenye una allow is speak to you. When it comes to issues of esteem. I don't know if I'm forgetting. And
also,
something.
I think also affirming yourself, that every day when you wake up, affirm yourself, I am good, I'm going to have it. Sometimes I used to hear this from Jay Smile saying, when you even Joy Lost, let's say, when you wake up and yourself, tell yourself you're good enough, it's going to be the best day. And I used to think, these are just past.
They're just saying, I know.
But immediately when I started internalizing it and saying I'm going to have the best day of my life, I love me the way I am, God, as in the joy of joy, I'm going to be full of happiness. I realized when you start affirming yourself that, and then the entire of your day just flows.
Actually, when your mirror is there for a reason, talk to yourself. Me, I wake up sometimes and I know I have like something big to handle today, and I'm like, who's going to handle this? Who's going to do this? You, as in, you not just say, you are yourself, because sometimes if you allow the way that you feel, you will not always feel good. But you need to always speak. Exactly. The Bible says that the power of life and death is in your mouth. It's in your tongue, actually. So whatever you speak needs to be. You might not be feeling it, but the way you're speaking it, you're giving this vibration to the world where things will start attracting. Whatever positivity you're giving, you will attract positivity back. So you need to be very careful even what you say with your mouth and all that.
That's nice. So that should be a cutting short.
Yay.
So thank you so much for tuning in and for staying and for listening. Be blessed. If you have anything to say, comment down below at the comment section. Like, subscribe, and yeah, we call it a wrap. See you next time.
Bye, guys.